All right, everyone. We are in a beautiful 3v3 here on the Three Kingdoms game. One of my favorite historicals. Rome 2 is definitely my favorite. I would say Three Kingdoms probably second or third after Attila. Those are vie for it depending on my mood and how buggy Attila feels like being. Uh, But then the rest, to be honest, is probably my third favorite because it's got a mix of nice romance mode, which is what we are on today, which is a surprise because it is a Joe stream. He's normally not the biggest fan of romance, I know. He prefers the general having an actual bodyguard, but hey, he wanted to switch it up a bit. Uh, 3v3 wise, we can't really see the armies as well, so I'll go with basically the leading generals as well as any interesting units, and then we'll get this party started. But we have Sun Ce here. This is actually Joe's army from what I remember from the stream. Here we got some mercenary archers, onyx dragons. These are a party. Really, really good infantry. 250 range. What else do they got? They have. Let's look at the differences between the two. So mercenary archers. Range damage is 50, 11 armor piercing with 200 range. Onyx 250 range, 60 weapon melee, 10. So mercenaries do a little more armor piercing, but significantly more base damage here. Both have 60 armor there. And then he's got himself King Mulu, or sorry, not Mulu, Menghol. My apologies. On his elephant, which is always fun. And some cataphracts. Elite shock cav. Very expensive units. Oh, nice. He's actually got some moving fighters. That's actually really nice. They're little Namen units, which are fun. Tribal Ignore Force penalty. Yep. You know they're Namen units because they have minus 100% fire resistance. We also have, that's more mercenary infantry. We got Inoras here. Bring us King Mulu. This is where I thought King Mulu was from. Look at that boy. I also don't know who everyone else is. Because it doesn't tell you that either, which is always fun. Yellow Sky Heralds. A very fun unit. What makes them good is they are unbreakable, so they actually make a good, cheap front line, which is why you see him bringing a few of them. But to be honest, what he really... Well, Might of the Valley is good as well. Some elites, so he's got some Might of the Valley and some champions. And then he's also got some elephants back here. And then these Followers of the Flame. These Followers of the Flame deal splash damage and fire damage, which is going to do that huge morale debuff. So you're going to see a lot of breaking with Inora's army. Last one, Lady Zhen. Zhen is our last army. Got some Tiger Guard. Very elite infantry. We also have anything else interesting? I mean, we got some Jade Dragons. Low damage, but they have that scare ability, which is very useful. And some cataphracts to join that. We also have nothing too crazy infantry-wise for him. Some bandit warriors, but some bandit king. So mostly those Jade Dragons, those cataphracts, and of course that unit of Tiger Guard being very dangerous. On the defend, another thing, Hidden Vipers. Namen unit, very hidden ranged unit with blow darts. Let's see how they end up doing. Bolts. But despite being hidden, there is some G militia position there. We also have some hidden axes. There we go. Bandits did bring a good unit. This is another good unit as well. Very powerful attacking unit, but very weak on the missile. Now let's finally actually get to the defenders. We got some heavy cataphracts. Very, very good cavalry actually started. Yep, guerrilla deployed there. We also have Guangsu Yuan, or Yuan, which is right up here. This boy here. We also have a Guan Yu, main general, and we have a Liao Chong as the final main general. Why that's important is you'll see the images based off the flag on who's who, which is really fun. And like if we look at, which sadly enough, these guys all have similar banners due to the nature of their factions being similar. Let's take a look here. There we go, we can properly see it here. King Mulu's with the elephant, and then Lady Jian with Yuan Shao's faction. The Luchu Liao Chiao, or Liao Chong, sorry, is not the same faction. His flag is very similar. You'll see the difference being that orange. There's one. Cao Cao. There is Xiao Yun's units. There they are. I am getting distracted. I'm getting focused back in. Yeah, we have Guangsu Assault Infantry, my favorite for the Chen Infantry. I think they're the best cheap infantry. We have Chen Royal Guard. We have, yeah, that's more of that. Nah, those aren't as good. Yeah, those Chen Royal Guard are incredibly brutal. We were looking at the Onyx Dragons earlier, which had 60 and then 10. This is, and with 250 range, 220 range, 18, and 46 armor piercing, 20 ammunition, so a lot less ammo. But if you take a look at 53 armor, 7 armor, these guys are chunky boys. And they actually have shields when they're in melee. Next we have, let's see what other good infantry we have. And some mercenary archers as well. Some mercenary infantry, some good mid-tiers. Gs, some heavy Gs. Ooh, nice. More Chen. Some more mercenary archers. So a lot of mercenaries for the defenders. I mean, a lot of their big boys, as you can see, is that Cataphracts. The other, because there are 2 Liao Chongs here, there are multiple units of Chen Royal Guard. So we're probably, the attackers are probably contending with a lot of Chen Royal Guard here. Exemplar. But let's get this party started. I'm not seeing any too much more crazy infantry. That assault infantry is very good low tier, in my opinion. Probably some of the best, outside of maybe those Yellow Sky Heralds. So let's get started. Get this battle on the way. See you in it. Alrighty, getting this party started. Hidden. Hidden. Artillery immediately starting. That multiple ballista is going to be brutal. Looks like we have Treb as well. Is this man aiming for the wall? Yeah, he might be. Oh, he's pretty good on the saber. Honestly, use fire shot if you are going to if you are actually aiming for the wall. You do significantly more damage for that. Well, let's see the special building. Temporary labor housing. While the artillery bombardment's going on, other fun thing is they put random buildings in. So we have the temporary labor housing, a shopkeeper. Some of them, if you randomly get a military building, they'll actually have their own tower with it, which is hilarious. What are we looking at? 60%. Yeah. He should have used some fire shot. A lot less accurate, but it is a lot better. The biggest issue with this that Treb The biggest issue with the... Okay, they got it. The biggest issue with this game is one siege tower allowed per attacker. They're actually able to do some pretty good damage as Sky Heralds are being hurt. These guys were being pushed back. That multi-bolt ballista, I mean, it is a great weapon. 50 kills already. And you can kind of see what it got into. Ooh, they're aiming at that Trub now. Is this ballista out of ammo? No. It looks like it's getting closer. Well, hopefully he uses fire shot, because he's not going to have enough ammo if he doesn't. Or he could aim at units. Yeah, it looks like he's more aiming at the unit. Try to go a little further, I would say. The archers brought in for just some cheap wall clearance. Yeah, that's why he did want to target that one. Just complete miss. But 75%. There we go. They actually managed to zero in. Very good damage. That tower's going to be at 100%. Move on to the next. Those yellow Sky Heralds going in. Xiao Yun coming in. He's got Scare. He's got that Flames to the Phoenix. He's actually got Exemplar. Who's given Exemplar? That's the question. Who gives that as a base ability? Is it this boy? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're on the range. It's this guy right here. Cheng Pu, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, Cheng Pu is a Sun Ce faction boy. He's one of the Suns. But correct me if I am wrong. Actually, let me see if I can correct myself. Well, this goes on. Oh, as this is going on, the Yellow Sky Heralds are in the fight. They're taking some damage because they're not the best unit. The issue is they're just unbreakable. And they do get a pretty good decent, but honestly, this is why I like this assault infantry. They're probably some of my favorite infantry in general. But this is going to be a problem. He's managed to sneak a follower of the flame in. And you're about to see something. So this unit that was Yellow Sky Heralds that were getting crushed. Yep, minus 10 morale. A huge amount of melee evasion and armor debuff. Yeah. That's a problem. And you can see that unit is already routed. The biggest thing with Three Kingdoms is a lot of the low tier units literally hate yeah, they do follow the Sioux. Or the Sioux. Really hate morale. Like here's a Saber militia with the burning. They're sitting at 16 morale. So as you can see, these burning boys have actually routed a unit. She has burning as well. It is getting laggy, so I'm going to back out of there. Just kidding. Let's get back in. See if we can get something clear. Yeah. I don't know. It's not doing the best. It is chugging, so let's back off. See what else we've got. These guys staying hidden in the corner as much as possible. Those guys discovered, so elephants have come around to support. But a lot of this front line is actually now breaking. Followers of the Flame are pretty brutalized. Yep, Yellow Sky Herald's running. Yep, he is still in the family. That's what I thought. So he's the mercenary boys. Yep, they're now running now because of the debuff. Did a lot of damage to them. As long as these followers of the Flames are still alive. Is that another healthy follower of the Flame? Oh, he threw both of them in. Yeah, he's hoping to break that spear guard as soon as possible. Northern G Infantry. I did not realize that. That's another good unit right there. Northern G, in my opinion. And look at that debuff. They're at 26 morale. 12 morale.
The enemy warriors are running.
And they're gone. So he's using that fire to break as much as possible. Yellow Sky still going. Saber Militia breaking. Heavy Cataphracts getting ready to move in. We got a Yellow Sky Herald on the wall just pushing.
Is this the best that Triads can offer? Where is the spirit I was told about?
Well, J-Jagons and Cataphracts could have forced these boys away. Nope, they're going to come back around now that they backed off. Try to get a charge in. Don't know how successful that was. Those heavy Cataphracts might not be long for this world with everything that's coming in on them.
Show them your strength, friend.
Especially once this elephant gets in. Yep. Those elephants are now in. That infantry is going to go bye-bye soon. But we got a breakthrough through the center. More fire. More of the fire boys still just tearing them apart. This is a big, big loss if they lose this. These are Chen Royal Guard, almost full ammo, being knocked back. Yeah, that Chen Royal Guard is almost completely eliminated. And this Chen Royal Guard's about to go as well. King Mengwo coming in. Oh no, that's the debuff. Yep. Minus 18 morale. That's another Chen Royal Guard gone. That is a huge loss. Like, that is probably one of the biggest losses there. This boy being forced away. They're getting on the wall. Looks like multiple crossbow running. But these guys have taken the wall successfully. Same with the hidden axes. So this could become a very dangerous scenario. They're still hidden. Yep, they were just spotted. Okay. That's a problem. But now proper elephants coming on in. Followers of the Flame still going. They don't need to make that many kills to have an impact, because what they're doing is they are routing the enemy and getting a huge chance for you to kill enemies, because when they're routing, of course, they only have loss animations or tie animations. So you're basically just killing enemies for free. Aw, they rejected that duel. They're taking fire. Taking fire. Are they... Yeah, they're fully visible at the moment. What about these guys? They're fully visible as well. But he's going for that Chen Royal Guard. Ooh, and I don't know if he noticed this. This could be devastating. Yep, he did. He's running. Might of the Valley, they've gone berserk. Huge buff to them. They are very unresistant to fire. A trick for Namen, fire ammo them. Fire shot the shit out of them. When you see Namen. That's what kills these boys. The only ones that don't are the followers of the flame that you can regular shot, but everything else burns. And so, in this case, he has done a lot here. Even though it doesn't look like it was too crazy of an amount, like 100 kills is great. But he also routed a ton of units thanks to that. Tiger Guard now sitting up against that Saber. Mercenary fighters going. That was the death of Mulu or Menghuo here in this corner. We did miss that, sadly. Might of the Valley getting ready to rout. Same with the Bandit Warriors, though. The Yellow Sky Heralds are insane, so they won't rout. Over here, 2 generals going in. Lady Zhurong trying to get that fighting as much as possible. Defiant Cry with minus 15 morale could break a lot of the low tier. Actually could do a real good number. That Exemplar that is just running on all of those leaders because of him is very good. Well, to be honest, yep, they're managing to push along this side. This side push, I mean, there's still some healthy units. Sadly, it's not a fully upgraded Guangyu. If it was, I think that would have been very devastating. But there's still a decent amount of infantry left and running. Again, into the crossbows again. This is probably I would say the biggest misplay of the defenders is losing all of those. All of these just very elite crossbows. Like even here, Hidden Axis. They're just running right into those Chen crossbows. He's taking the victory point right now.
The enemy unit flees. What cowards!
This actually might be why it ends.
Enemy general falls.
Interesting. Do we have anyone really fully upgraded? I think Menghuo, or yeah, King Menghuo was. Okay, he is. The Chengpu guy was as well. Lady Zhurong is 100%. She's just getting obliterated by those repeating crossbows. Speaking of crossbows, the Chen Royal Guard still getting just annihilated. This is so sad to watch. Because those, to be honest, with how expensive those Chen Royal Guard are, those are your elites for this army. Chen Royal Guard wins a lot. Where they've captured the victory point, he's now going to move out to go do some damage, secure some locations. She's now into this fight, 226, doing just a wonderful job. Sun Se is not fully upgraded, sadly. I don't think any of these guys were. No. Sun Se is going to face some trouble there. He's fully upgraded though. Firebomb. He just has a bomb. But to be honest, Sun Se and Shu Yu, that's not going to be a great combination. They're not going to win. That is a nice debuff to throw on them. A huge debuff to melee evasion and armor. How are these guys doing? They're just all about to shoot this poor G infantry. Yep, they've noticed that the G infantry's firing. Poison Dart, a ton of debuffs. But a lot of the infantry is now stuck in the center. There is a nice counterattack coming here. Guan Yu doing some damage. Heavy G's just trying to break through the enemy here. He's being forced back. And yep, there we go. The victory point was captured this whole time. But yep, that was... So, I lied. There was 2 big issues with the defenders. But let's get to the army comp screen and see how everything goes. So the 2 big issues with the defenders, to be perfectly honest, were... one, the loss of these Chen. For both of these guys. For Gangsu Yuan, which is this faction, and then the Chao Chong's faction. Both of them losing their Royal Guard to just loss of morale and all that was the biggest devastating factor, I think, early on. The other part was Inoris being a sneaky boy and taking that victory point and no one noticing. You saw it at the end, the G were attacking the point, but by then it was far too late. They had secured the victory, as you saw. It was done shortly afterwards. I mean, King kill-wise, Meng Guo did well. And of course, Gangsu Yuan, because he's part of the best faction, did probably the best out of everyone. I don't have to check anyone else's numbers. I know he did the best out of everyone because of that. But what they did right or wrong. Obviously, I talked about what the defenders did wrong. What did they do right? I think they did an appropriate when they realized they were losing. Managed to overcome it by striking onto the side. Trying to extend the defenders out and hopefully try to enclose on them. Especially once a lot of that fire sputtered out. Literally. However, I'll just say their downside in general was spatial awareness. Or just awareness. Map awareness. They didn't notice the back being taken. They didn't notice the units being discovered. They did not notice the victory point getting taken. They did not notice the guys with fire. That did a huge debuff to morale. Because if they did, it would have been a lot less effective. Because those hidden vipers are raged. Some cavalry can run them over. And they had the cavalry. Cataphracts here, stuff like that. What the attackers did really well, I think, that initial assault in by Inoris. I think Inoris just did well in general. That initial assault in, breaking the morale, and that assault to the rear was great. Where I think they started to sputter was, honestly, if it wasn't for the hidden vipers, they were sputtering in that midpoint. Their flank was starting to collapse a little bit, though they were still holding it. There was a lot of pressure there, and they lost some key units into that flank, including King Meng Guo, and including Sun Ce pretty much, almost nearly killing him. I think that's the biggest downside of the defenders, was just that midpoint flank, and to be honest, their overall map awareness, they were able to keep things moving on multiple angles. They were fairly attentive outside of that flank, and, well, you saw. They crushed it, they took the victory point, and they were managed to keep the enemy at bay until they won the game. I hope you did all enjoy. I hope it wasn't a little too hectic. Let me know if it was. I'm not used to the 3K speed. But tell me what you thought. Everyone did well, what everyone did poorly. No one ever makes it this far, so if someone does, I'd be surprised. Especially with how sloppy I feel like I did this. Well, I hope you all enjoyed. Bye for now.